How's everybody doing today? Yeah, though. Oh, shit. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Baby, you got it. What's going on, though? What is happening? How's everybody day going? Bad as shit, and the shit don't even work, dog. But that's, whatever. Can't even knock them. It's cracking, though. I see everybody doing a thug dizzle. Everybody good. What's cracking, lacking? I was disappointed, honestly. I downloaded this game to the Switch, but I lost the game. So hopefully this game still works. Because I can't find the game, but I did download it to my Switch. So I'm kind of happy, you know. I ain't really trying to start the conversation out with nothing yet anyway. So I'm just going with the motion. You know what I mean? Like, it took years to get to this point. Years. And you be asking for stuff, praying for stuff, and you don't really realize what you be praying for or asking for. When you're younger, obviously. You know what I mean? So people may not understand what you're talking about when you say it's a process and you have to be patient. And that's why I'm gonna take my time. Like I did with this. Like I do with everything nowadays. And it's gonna work itself out. You know? Life is too short. But I am thankful. The career link put me in the right place, man. You would be surprised what exposure can do. And like I said, I ain't gonna be running off with that quite yet. You can chill, relax a little bit, you know. Let your conscience be free. You ain't got no worries. You with D Burger. D Burger, we be chilling. Everybody's not gonna be happy for you, so you ain't gotta worry about, you know. But go ahead and go get you a trade. There's a lot of companies out there that's still hiring minorities. Because, you know, Trump over here talking about we all damn DEIs, getting on my nerve with that shit. But, you know, it's a weird time. But I'm thankful, you know. Got me some all dressed chips. I gotta be careful with this shit I be eating, though, man. I gotta be careful. Well, we gonna get on it. We gonna get to it, y'all. We gonna get to it. Don't you worry. We gonna have this conversation. It is. I'm just not rushing into it because I gotta be at work all day. So it's like it don't matter. I'm here all day. You know what I mean? So I'm here all day. So I'm just gonna chill. Play my Switch. Now, you can go to Career Link. Anybody who wants to be a barber, anybody who wants to be a nurse, just anybody. If that's what you want to do, then sign up to do that. You know, you should. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it when I feel like it. But right now I'm playing my game. Playing my game right now. I'm gonna get to it. For example, $3.4 billion comes through Allegheny County alone. And I wish I could get a tap of that $3 billion. But we do tap into it. Say, like when I drive for different organizations, limousine companies, they'll have a basketball game. They'll have a football game. They'll have a convention. They'll have a something. And that is the retrospect of what that revenue creates. So, I get it. I'm excited a little bit too if somebody can read down the checklist of shit we wasting money on. That's a good thing because I've always talked like that. I've always said that this process is rigged. I always said the process needs more of like minds. I've always said the process needs more people to know how the process works so they can take it a little bit more serious because it's your tax dollars. Even though people may say this, may say that, in all actuality, we pay everybody who's going their position. So from the congressmen to the senators to the secretaries, the surgeon generals to the attorney generals to your state to your federal employees, they all work for the working people. And what they do is they create a umbrella. For example, you go to a program in the hood. The mother, she has a bachelor's, master's, doctorate. She's worked along with Franco Harris, and she did work with whoever else the fuck, And she's affluent. She's stained her accreditations in all her fields, and she's worked her family in the mold. Well, at the same time, they've learned the economic depository system that the United States government offers. Easiest way to say it. It's like saying if you run a daycare system, you're going to be affected by Donald Trump. If you run a pharmaceutical company, you're going to be affected by Donald Trump. Why? Because everybody was so excited to get a stimulus check, but nobody wanted to check the balance. And when I say by checking the balance is this. We're $36 trillion in debt right now. $36 trillion. Now, that might not mean shit to you right now, then and there. But the Great Depression and all those things they talk about in history, and it was in the 30s. The Roaring 20s ended in 1928. So 100 years ago, a financial scholar, people in a business model said, look, we shouldn't give farmers credit. We shouldn't give people this. We shouldn't do that. And they did. What happened was somebody in politics decided to do another thing. And that thing created an economic calamity. Doomsday. The Great Depression. And you may not think that the federal government is vital in no way, shape, or form. But unless you work for a private entity, you basically are subsidized. And I think that's a foul approach that Elon is going by. He became rich and famous off of subsidies. So now the same person that became a well-rounded entrepreneur and used the American financial system to his gain wants to remarkably punish or delegitimize the same group of people that basically admired his his ability, not his inability, to write grants. Crazy, right? The same thing goes along with them saying they want to cut the funding for the grants. Why would you think you would fund something that would turn around and bring an economic gain? So if you were making something great, wouldn't you want advancements in that tool? And I'm saying this to say this. It takes time. I'm not the type of person people are going to admire, but I ain't the one that's sitting there worried about tomorrow. That's simple as that. Because I learned that the system that Pennsylvania created is if you want something, go out and get it. Pittsburgh got 6 Super Bowls. Philadelphia wins Super Bowls. We're a winning city. We're a winning state. Just because my team ain't win right now, I'm in a winning tradition. Go anywhere else. You go to Georgia. They're not a winning tradition. They have fun, but there's no standards. Why do you think they call this the Keystone State? Why do you think they spent all the money they could in a state like this? Because it's so chopped up and diverse with different ideologies, and segments of the area ain't like Florida, ain't like the South, ain't nothing like it. You ain't buying a swath of land and redeveloping it and calling it happy land. Motherfuckers up there ain't selling shit. Sorry to say it like that. They ain't selling it. They don't want to hear your fruitful, designful ways. They don't care about none of that shit. They voted for Trump because they remember the good old days. It's a book called Oxymoron, and it talks about how people saw somebody with one piece of land and they named their land after that person named theirs. Then you go around 20, 30, 40 years later, you see somebody got a Burger King on this corner, somebody got a McDonald's on this corner. Oxymoron. It was an idea that was created a long time ago for people who developed these concepts of thinking, hey, I want to be invested in something. I want to be part of something. And what people do to become part of something is they create stuff. So now you want to tell me that Elon Musk and Trump want to get rid of subsidies and vouchers, but these are the same individuals that actually, without those subsidies or vouchers, you wouldn't have been able to get that EV tax credit. That's a subsidy. So Tesla is allowed to get subsidies, and Tesla is allowed to get grants, and Tesla is allowed to make SpaceX, and Tesla is allowed to be, that's a monopoly. And when people start understanding what aristocrat means, dictatorship, then you will fall back from, I'm worried about a stimulus check. See, CareerLink is a public place that people in Pennsylvania have paid taxes into. And the taxes that they have paid into, what the fuck are you doing? Like I said before, you got to take account that financially, if an organization is dependent on another organization's brutality. So say the argument was just a couple of weeks ago. Let's help the colleges come up with and the hospitals come up with a solution to fund the shortfalls in their community. A week later, the President of the United States of America turns around and makes colleges public enemy number one by saying, why does Harvard have a $50 billion endowment? Whoa. Do you realize what? That's an economics. Some countries don't have $50 billion. So, it was cool, that people who get student loans and people going in debt and the federal government refunding student loan money back to college students. That was cool, right? That was cool. That was the shit to do, right? That was the shit to do. Then you get another president that came in and said, well, this school has a surplus of $50 billion. Next thing you got people pissed off. Why do we pay for college? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? If Jeffries did not tell you what this was called, this is called gaslighting, bait and switch. So if I gaslight you to say colleges have $50 billion of endowment, why are we giving them federal grant money? Boom. Everybody on this side, gaslighted, says, what the fuck? Why does the colleges have $50 billion in endowment? The mayors, the governors run your state. See, so what y'all are not understanding what the Republican base is doing is they're flanking all the dumb people. They're flanking them to the right, they're flanking them to the left, and they're flanking them from the back. So what's happening is you're saying, oh, $50 billion endowment to colleges, why are schools not giving us free education? Cool, you're right. It's a logical argument right there. But it's gaslighting you because you didn't care that Harvard was a prestigious college and they have super wealthy students, chancellors, and everybody else that give money back to the school. And that economic fruit change makes frugality for the other students. They become MIT directors. They become directors for big ass conglomerates because they give money back to the colleges to bring the best talent to their organization. So the Republican Party, what they're doing is gaslighting you. They're saying that all these bad things are occurring. They've been occurred. Their families graduated from these colleges. Their families donated money to these schools. But your mayor, your governor, run your state. And what the politicians are doing is, while you're yelling at the federal government, the state representatives are now following the trend of the federal government. But they're cutting their nose to spite their face also. Because once again, circular. State schools fund so many economic vehicles. State schools fund so many wheels. So if you say one thing, schools have a large amount of money in a bank account. The consumer is going to say, oh, why are we paying for it? That is gaslighting. That was the word of the year when Donald Trump was the president last time. So what Jeffries is telling you, from you absorbing the bait and switch technique, you have now learned that they are flanking the state, they're flanking the education system, and they're flanking the judicial system. And they're putting each and every one of people, the consumer, the American people, the unintelligent, the unwilling, the ununderstanding, the uncompromising group. He's putting all these things together. He's put Snoop Dogg in the mix for entertainment to be a sellout. Rick Ross. Then he put Le'Veon Bell out there as another sellout. So now we're distracted as a base because when he starts ripping up all the programs, like what y'all make what you make a year could be double if you knew who to talk to. So how I'm saying that is People take their civil service test to become a mailman. But the civil service test was more of a leverage for minorities, poor people, and people with a low education opportunity to get a good paying job. So the civil service jobs came around, are state ran. These state ran programs are ran by taxes, gambling, lottery, cigarettes, gas, colleges out and in volume. So colleges have a big tag on them. Paper, food, transportation. This is an economic engine. So when you hear someone say they're going to make something great again, do you think going into a college that creates medications for cancer patients, for Burgers' disease, ADLS, all these long-term, long-care, long time to create results, solution programs? Why do you think when you create proprietary information, you create a whole software as an erosion manager? Who knows erosion? The man that goes out there, first month he goes there, the ground's +3. 2 months later, he goes in, it's -4. So if a person isn't knowledgeable on how to install the software in the proprietary information that they're given, what do you think happens to a self-centered, egotistical, dictator, aristocrat, protagonistic agenda? Because it's not a person. See, everything thinks this is a person. This is an agenda. And the agenda has only become stronger because the black community has never took an interest. The black community has never took it. I don't care if they work for the University of Pittsburgh. I don't care if they work for the hospital system. I don't care if they're Cory Booker. I don't care if they're Lietta Scott. I don't care fuck who they is. Black people in general, you can see it every day. Donald Trump won the presidency off of the rhetorical lifestyle of America's history. So when he bait and switch you, when he says things like David Duke, when he says things that are impartial, biased, and bigoted, it's not that he's doing it to. He probably don't give a fuck what he say, but he know his base, his group of people. I talk to people all the time, and they try to be my friend. They try to make me understand that this country is racist, and you have to accept that. So just stay in your place. But I'm 42 years old, and I've lived at 43 now. I lived in this country for 43 years. How can you teach an old dog new tricks? What you gonna get is somebody that when it was a situation that could be handled, now you're going to get a situation that's going to get exasperated. Because what you're doing is you're fueling energy in a community that never invested in what you're doing. So they're not invested. They have no armor. We go to church every Sunday to get God's armor. But they don't have armor in administrative laws because they took too much endowment in allowing the white man in the rap industry and the entertainment business to evolve our culture into a one state of mind. If you play basketball, you got to shoot. If you play football, you got to shoot. If you a doctor, you got to trend. If you a nurse, you got to do TikTok. So they condition you not to follow protocol. They conditioned you. I was with a guy yesterday that clearly states, I can't record. I can't tell you what I'm doing. I can't show you where I'm at. I'm following the rules. Why can't you? So what you're seeing is they're flanking you from all the directions that you've been complacent in. It's income tax season. I hope you understand if you don't get your income tax done soon, Donald Trump is trying to shut down the IRS. The Congress is trying to shut down the government. You want to see an economic, think about it. How many families depend on their income tax to set themselves up for the beginning of the year? Between the Democrats and the Republicans, they have no control. So the Democrats are saying on one side of the token, if we can't get a rein on this dismantling of the federal government, what we're going to do is we're going to shut the government down. And once again, blacks have been consumed in servitude I'm gonna go and work for this lady and she gonna pay me under the table. I'm gonna go work for this cleaning company and they're gonna pay me under the table because I'm on Section 8. Well, guess what? Elon Musk, the subsidy guy, he's going to attack that because he retains more subsidies. See, that's why I say blacks don't have no interest in this. I know this for because I used to walk up to my friends and say, school's free, housing's free, car's free, this is free. They'd be like, you just looking for something for free. Why are y'all protesting then? Why are y'all standing out protesting if it's free? If you think everything is free, then let Donald Trump keep doing what he's doing. Because it's free, right? It's free. You don't go to work every day. You don't get your ass up and pay taxes out your paycheck. You don't see $600 come out your paycheck every 2 weeks. You don't see that. Where do you think those tax dollars go to? So we're so impressed and demoralized to say, look, you see what Charleston do? He demoralizes black people. You see what Kason Campbell do? He checked those niggas. But they ain't checked Trump, and they can't check Trump's tight. See, that's the difference between me. They have to arrest me. I verbatimly tell them the law, and they have to release me. Why? Because you have a right. You don't have a right to slander somebody's name. You don't have the right to defame somebody's character. But you think you do. You think you do because you're on the internet. What's your rights in real life? What can you do in real life? I can tell you that you can go to CareerLink. As for the WIA, W-I-A, I ain't even going to tell you what it is because you believe Charleston so much, you can go to any state and it's $100,000 in your community that they're going to take away. They're going to take this $100,000 black grant that goes to each county away. And you're going to sit back and say Charleston was right. Kason Campbell was right. Right about what? I got a commercial driver's license free from the state of Pennsylvania. I got my education free from the state of Pennsylvania. I got all my shit from Pennsylvania. Ain't no state doing that. I lived in all y'all funky ass states. Jacksonville, deplorable. Georgia, deplorable. So you living in a community that don't even want you there, and all you ready for is to be taken backwards because you don't care. This is how I prove you don't care. Detroit, Michigan is the biggest automotive mecca in the United States. 10 years ago, Chevy tried to make T.I. the ambassador of their company. T.I. had one little mistake. They took him out. We have a president that's running your country with a felony, willing to take all your supplies away from you, all your resources, everything. And nobody wants to step back and say, we should stop him from doing this. No, you're giving them more, but if a black man do it, that's bad for business. How? That's how they get rid of us. Imagine if T.I. would have stayed with that Chevy business, that GM run. He'd be designing cars like Fab do in New Era. He'd be part of the economic system that blacks people like, I'm only driving GM. Why? Why is blacks only driving GM? Because they stuck with T.I. when he was in the train. GM is loyal. GM is loyal. You know who's loyal to you? Your state. You know why your state loyal to you? Because you pay taxes into that state. See, no one's telling you the losses. They're only telling you about wins. That's it. That's it. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner on the internet. We all lose if the president takes control of our life. Nobody wins when the family loses. So y'all so rhetorical gold. I need to go save Kodak. I'm Kanye. Even the pastors are starting to get tired of having to save their people from you oxymorons. Because why do I need to go save somebody who's intentionally harming themselves? This is Metamucil. Is Kanye West going to come and talk to me because I'm drinking Metamucil? Because Kodak was eating chicken, I need to hear that Kanye needs to check on Kodak? I'm drinking Metamucil. Come check on me. Harriet Tubman ass nigga.